What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more on the Hermit Pack. So today is the day that I finally get flight. Now you guys have been telling me in the comments for a very long time now, get flight, get a jetpack, get anything that will allow you to hover in the air because it will make finding stuff so much easier and building stuff so much easier and all that, and you'll die a lot less. So I've been putting it off mainly just because I'm lazy, and similar to many other things, I am going to be doing it now because there was a catastrophic event in the world because I did not have it. So before we actually get into getting flight today, I'm going to explain why I decided to get it all of a sudden. So as you can see over here, things are running a lot better and it's daytime out, so it runs even better at night. I assume the reason was because I think I had my, I had my render distance too low. I thought this issue was fixed, but apparently it isn't, or at least as far as I think it isn't. But if you have your render distance below like 12, I want to say, you either don't get any spawns at all or they're significantly decreased. So the minute I put it up to 12 just to test if that was the issue, I started getting a ton of guys in here, and then I went out and I got some of the concussion creepers and soul vials, put them in there, got endermen, and I got like some baby skeletons and zombies. I don't know if I actually need those in there, but everything is running smoothly now. We've got it's an obelisk up there. I gotta look up what it's called, but it's the obelisk that prevents things from teleporting. So it's the inhibitor obelisk. The reason I have that is because endermen would teleport in here, start getting damaged, and then teleport out, and I had them all throughout my base, and once they've been teleported once, they can't get teleported again. So that was a little bit of a problem, but that's all just side stuff, kind of housekeeping that I wanted to let you guys know about. The main reason we're getting flight, though, is because I had to fix something in there that was pointed out to me last episode in the comments. I'm sure a lot of you guys noticed it, but the item conduits that run up this center pillar here were not hooked up at the top, or at least they were not set to input into the dimensional transceiver. And that's a problem because that means none of the stuff is getting over into the system here, and eventually it would get backed up. And that's actually going to happen very fast because of how many guys we're getting in there right now. So I went in to fix it, and unfortunately, if we come up here, I'll show you what happened. You cannot reach the item conduit just by breaking these and standing on this block right here. You have to kind of make a little bit of a ledge for yourself to go in on to be able to actually access it. And so I went in there to switch it very quickly. I went out one and it was close enough. I got shot off by a skeleton, I got blown up on by multiple creepers at the same time, and almost everything, actually everything and then some, down in the bottom here got destroyed. So I lost the vacuum hopper, I lost some of the diamond spikes, I lost, conveyor belts, all of that stuff, conduits. So if I had had flight, this would have been a non-issue, and that's kind of what motivated me to do that. It was a pain in the butt to fix this. I had to get up there and disable that. I died a couple times. It was not really fun, but now it's good to go. I never have to access it again. It is going crazy fast. You can see I got a witch there, which is great. I'm getting potions, all that good stuff. So really happy with it. There are a couple problems that we need to fix eventually, and I was actually going to ask you guys for a suggestion as to how to filter out all of this gear. Now the reason I say that is because yes, there are very simple ways to filter it out, whether we're putting it in a trash can or doing anything with it. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it because I don't actually know if this can work with certain things, but I know there's a lot of different ways to either harvest stuff back from these or possibly generate stuff from them. I don't really know. There is an extra utilities 2 generator that can use, I believe, books, like enchanted books, and you can actually, I don't know if there's any way to like transfer the enchants off these onto books automatically. I really don't know, but I wanted to throw it out there in case there was any better thing to do with these than just throw them in a trash can. But as you can see, we have a lot of them. So we've got a lot of the steel stuff here. If we scroll down, we're going to run into the osmium stuff, a lot of the leather stuff, a lot of lapis, and then a bunch of gold stuff down here, and then a lot of bows, a lot of bows. So yeah, these are kind of clogging up the system. It's really not a big issue if you just search for stuff. It's not really full in terms of items. It's more so full just because they can't really stack. But if we look at mob drops, let's look at gunpowder, for example. We're at 3.6k. Pretty darn nice. If you look at ender pearls, we're at 105. We get the heads off of mobs. We've got all these different reliquary items. So it's really, really nice. This thing is working flawlessly. We've got 1.3k solidified experience, which is awesome. We can basically use that whenever we need. Tons of mob heads, all that good stuff. Honestly, could not be happier with how this thing turned out. It is great. And I have yet to have a creeper problem that's not caused by me just being stupid. So now we're going to get into what I was actually going to do today, which is going to be setting up flight. We're going to be using the angel ring, and I was trying to avoid saying that earlier, just to, build up some suspense, maybe get a drum roll going before I said it, but I kind of forgot. But yeah, we're going to be going with the angel ring. Now, this is a really cool item because it essentially can have all these different wings. I have yet to decide which one we're going to go with. I kind of want to go with either the bat wings or I guess like the demon wings. And lastly, I want to test out the clear ones or invisible ones, I guess you could say. But we're definitely not going with the butterfly wings or the tiny white ones just because, doesn't really suit us, I would say. But to make this, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And the most annoying part for the average person is probably this right here. So the cursed lasso requires that you capture a ghast in it. And if we go in here, you need a golden lasso, which is very easy to make. And then you need a drop of evil, which really isn't that bad. You just have to find a wither skeleton. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had someone come to my door. It's like 8 in the morning right now and interrupt my recording. So we are back now. And as I was saying, with a drop of evil, 10% chance to drop, affected by looting. So it really wasn't that hard to get. And along with that, I basically just went into the nether, got this, crafted it, and then immediately went and got a ghast. And the nice thing is, for some reason, where my portal spawned in the nether is kind of an enclosed area, and I never even thought a ghast would get in there, but when I've gone in there in the past, I've had 3 ghasts prevent me from leaving because they're right at my portal. So honestly, I just went in there, I ran around for a little bit, and when I came back, there was a ghast in there at my portal, so I just walked straight up to it. Worst case scenario, I would have just gotten a mechanism jetpack and just kind of flown around in there trying to find one. But we got that, and then the last thing that we need to capture is a bat with a golden lasso. Again, very easy. For some reason, I've had bats flying around in the house for a long time, and one was perched over here before we set up the refined storage system, and then he was just kind of like perched back here. It was very odd, but yeah, so I was able to just get that guy. So we should be good to go on this to craft this. So we should have everything. It just takes resonating redstone crystal. And I think we can actually craft right out the gate I want to craft I guess we're going to craft the demon wings first. Let's try those out first. So I guess it can't pull those in there. So we've got that lasso, and where's the last one in here? There we go. Okay, so we've got the angel ring. Now I wonder if we can see when we put this on. It should be under baubles or something. How does this even fit on you? Oh, what? No. Is it just in my inventory? Huh. I thought you'd have to put it on you in like a baubles slot somewhere. That's also very weird that it's button.baubles and just doesn't say baubles. Okay. Well, let's take a look at ourselves right now. So let's F5 it up. Not great with the armor, but I think they look pretty cool. They might fit better with Draconic Evolution armor. They probably would. They probably would look really awesome with Draconic Evolution armor. We might stick with these for a little bit. The whole idea, though, was that we can test what's going on with the other ones. So to switch this over, we can use coal and charcoal. So I have 1 piece of charcoal specifically for this. So let's try this out right here. Let's see what these look like. Okay, I like those better. I think those are much cooler. Okay, now something is that I want to do eventually is get like an internal storage, like a bag in my inventory to kind of expand it. So I don't know if you can put this in that bag. I assume you can because I don't really see many people with angel rings just sitting in their inventory, and maybe it can go in your bauble slot and I'm just missing where it goes. But trying to shift click it in there doesn't really work. Trying to like drop it in there really doesn't work on any of these, unfortunately. So yeah, maybe if there's like a bag we get that expands our inventory, we can put this in there. If not, whatever, it can just sit in my inventory along with all this other random stuff up in this corner I don't really use, but I like how that looks. So now the problem becomes getting the grid power for it. Now, I've never really used extra utilities too, and getting grid power has always not really scared me, but I've never really been interested in it because I always saw people use solar panels early on and they only give one, and that's only when they're getting light. So it really looks kind of annoying, but I looked into it the other day and it looks like we are going to use the water mill. So there's a couple different ways to passively generate stuff. And once we get into the end and kill the dragon and get the egg, you can basically get 500 grid power for doing nothing. It takes up 2 blocks. It's like the most, I guess, cost-effective way to get grid power if you have the ability to do it. But it's also the most compact. But we don't have the ability to do that yet because we haven't gone to the end, and I don't feel like doing that right now. So we're going to use water mills, and essentially the way these work, and the block is right, it should be right here. So the way these work, it's a little bit complicated for the water one. It requires moving water to be on one of the sides at least. It can have it on all 4, and it bases it off the height of the water block. So it starts at 4, then can go 3, 2, and 1. So if you can have 4 on every side, you can optimize it to get a total of 16 per. So we're going to optimize 2 of these, and we are going to get the 32 that we need. And we're probably just going to hide it downstairs since we don't really need to hook it up to anything. It's kind of like wireless power, I would say. And it kind of, I assume it binds to your character. So if you're on a server, it just kind of, every person has their own grid power network attached to their character that you can just kind of place stuff anywhere, and it always comes back to that. So we need to do a little bit of crafting for extra utilities too. So I'm just going to get that open, because if we look, we can go to the water mill and you can see we need stone burnt. Now, stone burnt is not super hard to get. You need to put polished stone into a resonator, and polished stone is easily crafted just using some stone bricks. But unfortunately, the resonator, as far as I'm aware, is going to require us to do a little bit of crafting to actually get power for it. And I say power because it's actually grid power to actually make this work. So we need to make a block of coal and finish crafting the, where is it, the resonator. So that should be no issue. We're going to actually use some of these resonating redstone crystals finally, since I was told I should save them a while ago, and I never really did. I was just like, oh, they're stupid, because we're never going to use extra utilities too. Luckily, I do have some saved up, but not as many as I would have had before. So we can put this up here for now just to work with it, and eventually we will move it downstairs. But as we can see in here, there's a spot to put stuff in. So we can grab some of this stone, we can make it into stone bricks, make some of those stone bricks into the polished stone, and then we can put it in here and we can see what's going on. So you always have 0.04 grid power. That's, I don't really know why, but you always have that in your system, but that's going to do nothing for you. So we need 8 grid power. And instead of making solar panels, we're going to go with making the manual mill. So this is kind of interesting. I don't know. It says power given 1 grid power, but I think you can get it up to 16. At least that's what I saw, unless they changed it. So we're going to give this a go. We're going to see if it works. So the first thing we need to do is make some redstone torches. So we've got a lot of sticks here. We can just make an abundance of redstone torches. We're going to need some for later in the episode. So we might as well just make, like, let's make, I guess we could have just made 32. Whatever, 33. Close enough. Overclicked once. I'm a little bit tired right now because it's pretty early in the morning. It's like 7:30 in the morning. And the reason behind that, I guess I can tell you guys while we do this. Did I just skip over it? Wait, there we go. But the reason that I am recording so early in the morning is because my roommate is at work right now. Normally he is gone most Thursdays, but this Thursday is an exception. And the reason behind that is because, okay, so yeah, we can get 15 grid power to make this work. But the reason that he is gone right now and will not be gone past 10:30 today is because we have a snow day here at Yukon. So if you guys live kind of, I guess, anywhere in New England right now, and we're going to need to get a bunch of these to make them work. So we should probably make a couple more. But if you guys live anywhere in New England right now, I don't know if anywhere other than New England's really getting anything bad, but we are currently having a relatively large snowstorm. I think we're supposed to get 8 to 12 inches, and that's just through the course of like a couple hours. So it's a pretty big snowstorm today. They canceled class yesterday at 2 p.m., which is very rare. Normally they would wait until the morning of, or, you know, even like 30 minutes before, because you can kind of get away with that at college, unlike, you know, when you're at public school. where they can, they kind of have to cancel it before the buses go out. Even with commuters coming to college, they can wait until the last minute and say 10 minutes before class, okay, there's no class. So people were pretty surprised that they canceled it that early. And if I look out my window right now, it looks like there is pretty much just white outside. So it's pretty cold here, pretty windy, a lot of snow. And so I had to record really early in the morning, which is why I might have some morning voice right now. I know E12 always talks about that. It's pretty interesting stuff, actually. If you don't know about morning voice, I don't know why I'm going to explain this to you, but, whatever. So basically, I think it happens when you lay down at night, and it's like due to buildup in somewhere in your like esophagus due to just like fluids from laying down at night. It's kind of odd, and it just takes time in the morning. Drinking stuff doesn't really get rid of it, and it just kind of affects your voice. So pretty interesting stuff. You can prop your head up at night to help fix it, but there's really no other way around it, which is why recording in the morning's a little bit of a pain in the butt. So we're just going to keep on clicking this. If you don't know, you only have to hold down right click on this once, so it's pretty easy to just kind of AFK at. But I think we should have enough soon. We only need, well, I guess we really need 12. What are we at right now? We're at 9, 10. Yeah, because I think we need 6 per, and we need 2 of the water mills, and then we're going to have to go get some water outside too. Okay, so finish up one more, and then luckily we'll never have to touch this again. I really don't plan on doing much more with extra utilities too. The one side thing that I want to look into today, if we have the time after we finish this, and this should be done right now so we can grab this out, the side thing is going to be the Undeath generator, because extra utilities 2, if we go over here, extra utils 2 has a lot of generators that can generate stuff, and the Undeath generator would be able to use up a lot of our rotten flesh to give us some power. It's not really great, but it would give us some power, and we've got a lot of rotten flesh in here. If we look, we got a lot of rotten flesh. I've gotten almost like 300 since I started recording, and who doesn't need that much rotten flesh? It's great stuff. So we're gonna go to the water mill now. So the water mill, we gotta make, so we're gonna need 4 of these. Okay, I was gonna say, I think we're gonna run out of wood, because we should be able to use birchwood, right? I think we should. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna need those 3, toss it back in here, and we should be good to craft both of these. So we got the 2 water mills now. That's gonna be all we need. It's great that this only requires 32, because that's 2 perfectly optimized ones. So we'll get that, and then I'm going to need to go get 1 more bucket of water. Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say we got to travel at night, but I also forgot that we have the water right here. So this is also very loud. I got to put a muffler in there somewhere, and we can break these. These can go downstairs. So we're going to put it down here, and I think we're going to put it in this corner right here, since we don't really have anything over here. And we're going to mine down 2 to set this up, and I think we also want to mine down here also, and then we'll mine here so we can get back up, grab all this stuff. Now the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to set it up a little bit odd, and we're setting it up down at this layer right here just because I don't want to be able to fall in the water. So if we put it here, we can put some glass above it, or we can just cover it up completely. I'd like to have some glass over it though, because it probably looks pretty cool. So I think the best way to go about doing this is to put 1 right here, and I think we can put 1 directly next to it, and maybe get rid of this block right here. And actually that might be all that we need to do. We can fill in a lot of this open space then, since I think we only need to have this whole area right here can get filled in, and this whole area right here can get filled in, and we only need these blocks around here open. I don't even know if we need all of these blocks open right now, but we definitely need to get an infinite source. So if we go over here, you can see this is already at 14. So this is already really high in terms of generating power, because we've got 4 on this side, 4 on this side, and then I assume that that's 2 and 2. Yeah, so it'd be 4, 8, and then, no, I guess that's not 2 and 2. Huh, I guess that's 3 and 3. Okay, well, interesting. And then this one is at 10. So if we put down our other water bucket over here, this one should go up to 14. This one's at 14 also. So really, the optimal way to set this up then would be, I believe, we got to get, I think putting water here would optimize one side of that, and then putting water here would optimize the other side of that. So we can fill this up right here with an infinite pool for now. Put water there. fill both of these back up, and then we got to fill this in over here to get rid of this water, because it has to be flowing. It cannot be still, and it cannot be vertical water. So we go like that, 16, 16, awesome. So now we actually should be able to use the angel ring, and there we go. We've got the power to use the angel ring. So you can see we've got perfectly 32 grid power, so that is awesome. We can now fly with this. Look at that. Oh, okay, well my head's stuck in the ceiling. Look at that. We got flying, finally. Very, very painless process to get that. Actually pretty darn easy. Hopefully it will save my life in the near future. But what we can do now is just get some quite clear glass, which is the stuff that I'm using over here too. I did end up replacing the glass that we had used for the windows over here because I had complained about it last episode. You guys suggested I use the Tinker's Construct glass, but it's actually basically, it's a little bit easier to use this glass. It has a little bit of a border that I think the Tinker's Construct might not, but other than that, it's really not a big issue. It's a little bit easier to make because I can just make it in a machine over here. But what I want to do then is cover these in glass, and I guess, do I want to cover the rest of this in glass? It looks kind of gross below it. I don't know. You know what, do we have any of the sandstone left? We don't really have any of the sandstone left. I was going to say we could replace some of this over here, and it might look a little bit better. But honestly, I think we're going to put just some glass right there and then maybe cover this up, see how it looks. It's probably going to look really stupid, but I want to know that they're there at least so I don't forget about them, which I inevitably would. So we'll cover all this back up right here, and hopefully it doesn't look awful. Okay, that just looks kind of funny. I'll figure out a better way later to get those to look kind of nice. They just look a little bit out of place right now, but we have our angel ring. We are ready to go. I'm actually going to dump the resonator and manual mill back in here because I don't think we're going to use those that much. And something I do want to look into now is the Undeath generator, because we do have the time. Today's episode is going to probably be a little bit shorter than normal, since these episodes usually go like 40 minutes. But the Undeath generator can use bones, it can use rotten flesh to generate stuff. We kind of want to save the bones for now. I eventually want to make an automated farm, which will only be like one block that just like insta-grows a bunch of stuff that I request it to, which would be pretty awesome, or keeps us at like 64, cooked potatoes, stuff like that. Would be really nice to have. We'll probably set that up next episode, because we've got the bones. We can easily auto craft it into bone meal. We can easily, speed up the auto crafting process. And it's pretty simple, I guess. You could just say, if you detect that there's less than 64 baked potatoes in here, just, send a bunch of bone meal until you have 64. It'll probably put us over 64 a little bit because it would take some time to kind of catch up and cook the potato. But yeah, it's not a bad plan. But we're going to go with this. Really easy to make. We need the furnace generator then. This, again, really easy to make. So we're going to make a furnace. And oh, that's not what we want to click. We need a machine block, which means we need a chest. Wait, what? Do we need a... Okay, I was going to say we don't need a trap chest. I accidentally clicked on the trap chest one. So let's just get enough to make chest in here out of birch. I don't know why we only have birch. I assume we have some oak somewhere in here. So we'll make... Didn't I just... Oh, can we use this? What? We can only use an oak chest for that? Okay, we gotta have some oak wood in here somewhere. I was gonna say... we're gonna make a bunch of this. That should be more than enough for the time being. There's just kind of miscellaneous things that use it. But... Okay, so we're gonna go back to the Undeath generator. There we go, and finish making that. We got 4 machine blocks. Finish making this, and there we go. So we have the Undeath generator. I just want to show you guys how this works a little bit. We're not actually going to fully hook it up today because I do need to make... It's really slow if we look at the rotten flesh and take out a stack of this. Let's say we put it down somewhere over here, and it would probably go somewhere over here. It'll make it easier to hook up to power. But if we throw the rotten flesh in here, you can see that it goes for 20 seconds. You can see the percent, and it gets you a little bit of power. It's not very fast. You can put 20 speed upgrades in it, though. The only annoying thing is that speed upgrades, they're actually called upgrade speed. So these speed upgrades are a little bit annoying to make. So the gold, easy, block of redstone, easy. The max you can get is 20. But needing this upgrade base right here requires that you put a weighted pressure plate into a resonator, which means we need some grid power, which means I have to sit there with the manual mill making 20 of these. I don't really feel like doing that right now, but I just wanted to show you guys that this is a pretty cool way you can generate power very easily with this. It's not super effective. It's probably significantly more effective to do the setup that I did in my Surviving with Mechanism series and use this in the Crusher to make biofuel and all that, but I don't really feel like doing that and using, you know, the biofuel to make the ethylene. I really don't feel like doing all that right now. It's like a pretty large setup and it's not great return, but I kind of just want to use this as a way to get rid of the rotten flesh almost. So I might say, you know, save 64 rotten flesh in case we need some leather or something and just make all the rest of it into power. And speeding this up would allow us to chug through that and just get a little bit of power in return. Not really have to deal with a ton. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I do apologize if my voice sounded a little bit groggy or I was a little bit out of it. It's really early in the morning. I'm running on like 6 hours of sleep, which is, it's kind of messed up on a snow day that I'm running on 6 hours of sleep, but I wanted to make sure I got a video out just because I wasn't able to get one out earlier in the week. I've been a little bit busy with classes and all that good stuff. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys later.